trying to put together a winning ball club on the field. And they've done everything they can, and they're continuing. They are tireless. They didn't stop. They are on the phone probably with somebody right now. And so we're going to ask them to take a break for these two guys right here. They are the architects of trying to put together a championship ball club for the Chicago Cubs and for you as the fans. So please, everybody, put your hands together. Let's give a nice warm off-the-mound round of applause for the president and general manager of the Chicago Cubs, Jed Hoyer and Carter Hawkins. This is fun. You guys switched it up this year. Was that on purpose?
I'm like really far from you right now.
Yeah, it's okay. You should have seen it earlier. The desk was over there. They're way far. How's the off season going? Do you guys even get an off season?
Get a little bit of a ceasefire from Christmas to New Year's. Like, there's still stuff going on, but
Is that like league known? That's like, hey, listen, unless it's like really pressing, just take Christmas and New Year's with your family and you all get.
there's a couple like that guy.
Yeah.
Like calls. You know,
That
like, Boxing Day. You know.
But I promise nothing like this ever goes viral. That's Chris Bryant.
Between us.
It's between us.
We'll talk backstage.
Okay,
Yeah,
backstage.
but-
Nice.
Yeah, that's the ceasefire. It's kind of the like. Our wives are like, hey, this is my time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the captain now.
Yeah, exactly. I get that. Building a team, right? Like in the dynamics, the landscape, and everything that you got to do, trades, paper wires, signing free agents. When you sit down at the end of the year last year or after last season, kind of where does your head go as far as like, okay, this is what we need to do, and how do we accomplish this?
Yeah, I mean, I think like last year was disappointing. I felt like we, 2 months, May and June killed us. We played well in April. We played great in the second half, but we buried ourselves. And for us, it was about building pitching depth this offseason. And obviously, one of the things we wanted to do was acquire a player to kind of sit in the middle of the lineup and kind of reinforce the lineup. We felt like we needed to consolidate some of the wins on our team into one player, and we traded a lot of talent to get Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, and dude, like that kind of, how does that happen? Like, I know that's obviously, I've seen how this works, like, you've got everybody evaluated, but like, to go acquire somebody like that, I think he's quietly underrated or undervalued or underappreciated what he puts up. How do you approach that? Like, okay, let's go about getting Kyle Tucker.
Yeah, I think most people watch Moneyball and they feel like Jet is Billy Bean, not Jonah Hill, right? Like Jet's on the phone like on the one call.
I think Brad Pitt.
Correct.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah.
Jonah Hill's never been.
Have you seen this man's sport coats? Like, I mean, come on. But yeah, like I'm not doing that, this pump move necessarily. It's a long slog, and we're reaching out to the 29 other teams, talking about what our different needs are, talking about players that potentially are available. And the guy like Kyle Tucker, the other team's not talking about like, hey, this guy's available, but we're certainly proactively asking for players that potentially could upgrade us significantly. And kind of once you kind of catch the hook a little bit on someone like Tucker, we start to talk about some general concepts. And Jet was talking day and every day for, I don't know, a month, 3 weeks, until we finally got that Jonah Hill fist bump moment.
Yeah. It takes that long, huh? like weeks and weeks for a team to finally say, okay, here we'll do it.
I think that's probably the thing that I think people misunderstand the most is just the number of phone calls or texts it takes to get a deal done, how long it takes, but also just how many dead ends there are along the way. You have to go down a lot of streets before something actually works out. And there's a lot of great deals on the cutting room floor that never happen, and you just have to accept that you run it out and understand as you're going. There's a good chance this doesn't work, but we have to do it every time, the same process every time.
Another guy that you guys picked up a minute hand on, I'm sure Richard Morgan. I think he's going to dominate that. But you get him from Cleveland and from Detroit, where this guy is.
We identified him early. He had a great, I guess, 8 starts in the postseason with the Guardians, but he was coming off from Tommy John. He pitched really well. We thought he was a perfect value for us. And I'll also tell you a funny story. So we we signed him. He comes in for his physical, and he does his physical, and then he comes in the office. And our traffic secretary comes in, and we have a conference room between our offices. And I was watching something on my phone, and he came in. And he said, I thought he said, the Bat Boy's next door if you want to meet him. And so I was like, okay, I didn't know we hired a new Bat Boy. I thought he seems pretty good, but sure. And so
It was a package deal.
yeah, exactly. So I walked in, this 6'4" guy gets out of his chair, and he's, Matt Boyd. And all of a sudden I had this realization, Matt Boyd, and I'm like,
Yes.
and I was like, there's no way he can't tell how awkward I am right now. and so I had to pause the meeting and say, this is super awkward. I'm totally backwards. I thought you were the Bat Boy. Anyway.
Nice. That's going to be good, like later on in the season when somebody's like, who should we start on Sunday? And you'd be like, I'd start the Bat Boy.
If they do those City Connect jerseys or the fan jerseys with the nicknames on back, like he has to be the Bat Boy.
Yes, 100%. How do, I'm going to talk about the elephant. There's not actually a real elephant. How do you guys get caught up, and how does the rest of Major League Baseball not get caught up in the ungodly spending of Los Angeles Dodgers? I'm not trying to. Hey, listen, it's not a prerogative. They can spend it, but I mean, like, it's clear that they just apparently know something that's going to happen 10 years from now. Where they're going to apparently they've unleashed your best Venus or bombs.
Yeah, I mean, look, like I think having more money is an advantage, certainly, and they certainly have leveraged the heck out of that advantage. And I think the thing the Dodgers have done really, really well in addition is they have a great drafting development system and that's great international prospects. They're really firing on all cylinders. And look, that's awesome, but that's their business. And like we got to figure out our business. Like our focus and everyone else's focus has to be on how can we acquire and develop players that compete and ultimately beat that team. So if we're focused on that,
Kyle Tucker!
And so we're focused on making sure that we put ourselves in the best position to win, and we're excited about the team.
Yeah, and depth, minor league, like now's the time you look at the minor league system, the players that are in place over there, the talent that is down there, that potentially can just keep filtering into the big leagues as need be. You got to feel really good about the situation.
Yeah, I mean, I think the fact that we were able to acquire someone with the prospect capital that it takes to get a Kyle Tucker and still be able to have the guys come out on this stage today and understand how strong the system still is. I think
Now
it's
keep 'em!
a testament to something that Jed and Arthur's been able to do over the last several years.
Jen, for you last year, I talked to this a little bit about Greg, just like show that comes over, and you get very limited in person viewing, right? Like it's a lot of video. He's playing in Japan, and then you see this, and you're like, okay, we can put a projection on what we feel that he do, and he shadowed us across the board. I think what he did was remarkable. What other players did you feel like really took that step forward for you that just really wowed you?
No, the Shota thing was amazing. I started in Japan. We obviously had really good grades on him. Our models were great on him, but he exceeded it by so much. And I heard Craig talk about his press conference, and to have a season, an assimilation season where like you don't really ever dip, pretty amazing. No, I mean I thought Michael Bush really is. He's an older rookie, but that was a really impressive rookie season. And then you have to look at his numbers. The field last year was a graveyard. It was just a tough place to hit. And if you actually look at his home road splits, I mean, what he did on the road was really exceptional. And then obviously I thought what Pete did the second half. It's a good example. You have to let young players play. Like we let him play, let him hit. I thought the coaching staff did a great job, and I thought he did a great job of being a big leaguer. But I think in the second half, we started to see the kind of player he can be. So that's part of the process. You have to let those guys play. You have to let them take their lumps. And he did a great job in the second half.
Yeah, he did. A guy like Porter Hodge too. I mean, this young kid. I watched him, one of those guys who was first guy to the ballpark, last guy to leave, put his work in, and had a phenomenal season. I don't know how important bullpen depth is, things like that. So, just young arms like that coming out. Looking forward, right? Like I said, you guys can take days off. you've obviously got those already. Holidays are over. As you continue to try to do this, do you see the possibilities of adding some pieces here as we get closer to it?
Yeah, it feels like it used to be we come to convention, and I've done a lot of these. It used to feel like maybe I had one move left, and it was almost the end of the off season, and just the way things have evolved over the last few years, it's just much later now. There's hundreds of free agents out there. We're sort of, not near the end of the off season. There's a lot of moves to do. So I just think the off season is shifted later, and as a result, I think people always expect more this time of year. It's like, no, there's a lot of players left. There's a lot of things left for us to do, and we'll be on the phones now, and we'll be on the phones probably in spring training, still making moves.
Nice. Yeah, let's go. And I heard already Craig Johnson was talking about he's talking.
Get on the phone with Tucker's agent.
Whatever happens there, good luck. One last thing before I let you guys go. This is a big year. I'm bringing back somebody in the family who's been gone for a long time, and you guys watched Sammy Sosa back in the house. What are your memories of him and now that he's back?
That's how we win again.
The Cubs Hall of Fame and what he's been able to, what he was able to do back then. Just your impressions of talking about him.
Yeah, I mean, watching him as, when I was, I guess, probably 12 years old, Jack, I think you were what, 38? But no, he's just such an inspiring, like coming out of the lockout of the strike, and baseball kind of taking a little dip there, and then just that summer, I guess was that 97, I was 13 years old, and for baseball just to come back into the mainstream, because those guys were going neck and neck over the course of the summer, it was unbelievably fun for me, being a young baseball player, to watch and follow, and certainly I think the remnants of that have definitely followed through with how popular the game remains.
Yeah, I was going to say, one of my favorite, pre-working in baseball memories was going to Wrigley with a buddy from high school in '98, sitting in the bleachers, and his run out to right field was something that I've never seen matched since then. The excitement, and it was, by August, it was the race was, the chase was on. He was obviously having a great year. That was one of the more fun spectator moments I've ever had. And it's crazy. This is my 14th season here. I met him for the first time last night at dinner, and it was awesome. And I think he's really excited to get back. So, I think it's fantastic. And obviously, watching the opening ceremony, he knows he's got a presence. He knows what he's doing, and he knows how to get a crowd going.
Well, and as Cubs fans, I think Cubs fans love to be inspired, and Sammy played inspiring baseball when he played. And I just, kind of going off that, if you can, feel it. I think that's really important. Especially in Chicago, it's been a stretch here now after winning the World Series where all of us feel like we haven't got to where we expect to be. What would be an inspiring message, or something inspiring that you would want to say to the Cubs fans?
I feel great about where we are, and I think that from an organizational standpoint, we're in great position. I think the future is incredibly bright, but I will say that last year left a bad taste in our mouths, and I think it's going to be a great 2025. So looking forward to it.
Nice, I love this. All right,